Namaskar. While considering the situations of allocation, transportation, assignment, scheduling, and planning, it was assumed that the value of decision variables do not change over the planning horizon. Thus, these problems were of static nature and were solved as specific situations occurring at a certain moment. However, we come across a number of situations where the decision variables vary with time, and these situations are considered to be dynamic in nature. The technique dealing with these types of problem is called dynamic programming. So, dynamic programming is an algorithm technique for solving an optimization problem by breaking it down into simpler subproblems and utilizing the fact that the optimal solution to the overall problem depends upon the optimal solution to its subproblems. This dynamic programming refers to a very large class of algorithms. The idea is to break a large problem down into incremental steps so that at any given stage, optimal solutions are known to subproblems. Dynamic programming is a mathematical technique dealing with the optimization of multi-stage decision problems. The technique was originated in 1952 by Richard Bellman and G.B. Datzig and was initially referred to as a stochastic linear programming. Today, dynamic programming has been developed as a mathematical technique to solve a wide range of decision problems, and it forms an important part of every operation researcher's toolkit. Though the originator of technique, Richard Bellman, himself has said, we have coined the term dynamic programming to emphasize that there are problems in which time plays as essential role. Yet in many dynamic programming problems, time is not a relevant variable. So, let us discuss the distinguishing characteristics of dynamic programming. So, in today's lecture, we'll see some definitions of dynamic programming and distinguishing characteristics of dynamic programming. So, the important features of dynamic programming which distinguish it from other quantitative technique of decision making are: it involves a multi-stage process of decision making. The stage may be certain time interval or certain subdivisions of the problems for which independent feasible decisions are possible. In dynamic programming, state is a description of the system which tells the necessary parameters of the system for the purpose of making decision. It is not essential to know about the previous decision and how the states arise. This enables us to consider decisions one at a time. So, dynamic programming, the outcome of decision depends upon a small number of variables. That is, at any stage, only a few variables should define the problem. For example, in the production smoothing problem, all that one needs to know at any stage in the production capacity, cost of production in regular and overtime, shortage cost, and the time remaining to the last decision. So, a stage decision does not alter the number of variables on which the outcome depends, but only changes the numerical value of these variables. So, principle of optimality. So, dynamic programming is based on Bellman's principle optimality, which states an optimal policy has the property that whatever the initial state and decisions are, the remaining decision must constitute an optimal policy with regards to the state resulting from the first decision. So this principle implies that a wrong decision taken at one stage does not prevent from taking of optimal decision for the remaining stage. For example, in production scheduling problem, wrong decision made during first and second month do not prevent taking correct decision during third, fourth and next months. So this is what principle of optimality. Then Bellman's principle of optimality forms the basis of dynamic programming technique. With this principle in mind, recursive equations are developed to take optimal decision at each stage. A recursive equation expressed subsequent state conditions and it is based on the fact that a policy is optimal if the decision made at each stage results in overall optimality over all the stages and not only for the current stage. So dynamic programming provides a systematic procedure wherein starting with the last stage of the problem and working backward, one make an optimal decision for each stage of the problem. The information for the last stage is the information derived from the previous stage. It may be noted that dynamic programming problems can also be solved by working forward, that is starting with first stage and then working forward up to last stage. What is the approach of dynamic programming? So before discussing the solution to the numerical problems, it will be worthwhile to know a little more about the fundamental concept of dynamic programming. The first concept is stage. As already discussed, the problem is broken into sub-problems and each sub-problem is referred to as a stage. A stage signifies a portion of decision problem for which a separate decision can be made. At each stage, there are number of alternatives and the decision making process involves the selection of one feasible alternative which may be called as stage decision. The stage decision may not be optimal for considered stage but contributes to make the overall optimal decision for the entire problem. The other important concept is state. First is stage and then state. The variables which specify the condition of decision process and summarize the current status of the system are called state variables. For example, in the capital budgeting problem, the capital is the state variable. The amount of capital allocated to the present stage and the preceding stage defines the status of the problem. The number of state variables should be as small as possible. With the increase in number of state variables, increases the difficulty of problem solving. Let us discuss the procedure to adopt in the analysis of dynamic programming. So first step is to define problem variables, then determine the objective function and specify the constraint. Second, define stages of the problem, determine the state variables whose values constitute the state at each stage and the decision required at each stage. Then specify the relationship by which the state at one stage can be expressed as a function of the state and decision at next stage. Develop the recursive relationship for the optimal return function which permits computation of the optimal policy at any stage. Specify the optimal return function at stage 1 since it is generally a bit different from general optimal return function for other stages. Then make tabular representation to show the required values and calculation for each stage. And next step is formulation of dynamic problem. So let us discuss the formulation. in case of formulation, consider one situation wherein a certain quantity, capital R, of a resource, so capital R represents resource such as man, machine, money, materials, etc. Okay, is to be distributed among n. N is a number of activities. Here n is a number of activities. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are number of activity up to n. The return P, capital P, depends upon activities. It is a return. It is return. The quantity of resource allocated to them, and the objective is to maximize the total return. So P is a return and R is a resources. So resources you are investing. Okay, different activities you are performing, and P is a return you are getting. If Pi Ri, it is a return function of Ri. Okay, denotes that return from the ith activity with the resource Ri. So Pi in bracket Ri represents return through ith activity with the resource Ri. So then total return is expressed as P equal to P in bracket R1, R2, R3. Okay, so it is P is a return with the help of R1, R2, R3 up to Rn equal to P1 R1 plus P2 R2 plus P3 R3 and then up to Pn Rn. The quantity of resource R is limited, which gives the rise to the constraint. Here R equal to total R equal to R1, R2, R3. Okay, it is the resources. And it should be greater than 0. Greater than equal to 0. And I should be integer. It should be 1 to n. It should not be 0 or minus. So problem is to maximize the total return given by this first equation, which is shown in the screen, on a screen. So which gives, okay, subject to constraint, if function of R equal to maximize P R1 to Rn, then it will give you, so maximize R1, R2, R3, R4. So if you can see, this is this function you will get. Okay, then Fn R, the function of R is maximum return from distribution of the resources R to n activities. Let us now allocate the resource to the activities one by one, and starting from the last, that is nth activity, an expression containing Fn R and Fn minus 1 R for arbitrary values of R and n may now be obtained with the help of principle of optimality. Rn is the quantity of resource allocated to the nth activity such that 0 is less than or equal to Rn is less than or equal to R. Then regardless of the values of Rn, a quantity of R minus Rn of the resource will be distributed among remaining n minus 1 activities. So let Fn minus 1, that is R minus Rn, denote the return from the n minus 1 activities. Then the total return from all n activities will be Pn from Rn plus Fn minus 1 R minus Rn. So an optimal choice of Rn will maximize this function, and thus the fundamental dynamic programming model may be expressed as the last. You can see Fn, you can see this Fn function of R1, function of R equal to maximize 0 to R. So Pn Rn plus Fn minus 1 in bracket R minus Rn bracket complete, and where n equal to here 2, 3 up to infinity. Okay, here if n is equal to 1, then what happens? If n is equal to 1, so n equal to 1 is obtained from equation. So last equation, n is equal to 1 you will get. And this equation gives return from first activity if n is equal to 1 when whole the resource r is allotted to 1 to it 1. Once f1 r is known, the equation, this equation you can solve. Okay, this equation relation, that is f2r, f3r, and this recursive process ultimately leads to the value of fn minus 1 r and finally fn r at which the process stops. So this is general formulation of dynamic problem. Now let us consider one example. Let us see one example, the employment smoothing problem. We will see one problem and we will solve this problem. We will try to solve this problem. So even though some theory is not understood by you, then we will discuss this in doubt clarification session. So without any hesitation, you can ask any queries in comment box also. In next doubt clarification session, we will discuss this in detail. Now let us discuss one problem, one example, that is employment smoothing problem. It is a smoothing problem. Now here the firm has divided its marketing area into three zones. The amount of sales depends upon the number of salesmen in each zone. The firm has been collecting the data regarding a sales and salesman. Here not a smoothing, it is a smoothing. Here it is a smoothing. Smoothing problem. Okay. Okay. Employment smoothing problem. The firm has divided its marketing area into three zones. This is given example. I have referred Prem Kumar Gupta and DS Hira Gupta. DS Hira. Okay, so you refer this book. Many solved and unsolved problems are there, exercises are there. So I have referred same book for today's lecture. So the firm has divided its marketing area into three zones. The amount of sales depends upon the number of salesmen in each zone. The firm has been collecting the data regarding sales and salesmen in each area over number of past years. The information is summarized in table 1. For the next year, firm has only 9 salesmen and the problem is to allocate these salesmen to 3 different zones so that the total sales are maximum. So you can read given profits in 1000 rupees. So number of salesmen, if 0 is there, if 1 salesman is there, 2, 3 salesmen are there, 4, 5, and 6 and 9 salesmen are there. Okay. So number of salesmen and zones are given. So what is your question? So what is required? The problem is to allocate these salesmen to 3 zones so that the total sales are maximum. So there are salesmen and these zones. you allocate the particular salesman to particular zone, so that you will earn maximum profit. So how to take a solution in this problem? The 3 zone represents the 3 stages and number of salesmen represents the state variable. So stage 1, we start with zone 1. The amount of sales corresponding to different numbers of salesmen allocated to zone 1. So these are given in table. We have taken from given example. So number of stations. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 0 to 9 salesmen are there. And profit is given. It is from 30, 45, 60, 70, 79, 90, 98, 105, 190. So this is first column, zone 1 column. So we have kept here in front of number of salesmen. So this is a stage 1. So we are considering 1, 2, 3 in different stages. Okay. So we will consider first zone 1 in number 1. Now stage 2. Now consider first 2 zones. In stage 2, consider first 2 zones. See, first zone is a horizontal, top 2 rows here, first zone. So number of salesmen, and this is profit from this salesman. And here zone 2 is number of salesmen and profit through number of salesmen. Here this profit, zone 2 profit is kept here. Okay, and number of zones. Okay, in this way you write this and this one, 2 rows and 2 columns. So zone 1 in a row and zone 2 in a column. Now you add this, the cumulative effect, a summary of these two. So for 0 salesman 35, 0 salesman 30, you add this here. So now consider first 2 zones, zone 1 and zone 2. 9 salesmen can be divided among 2 zones in 10 different ways. So there are different combinations you can get, and you will choose any best combination with the highest result or lowest results. So you can find out. It depends upon your maximization or minimization problem. Now here, so 9 salesmen can be divided among 2 zones in 10 different ways, as 9 in zone 1 and 0 in zone 2. 9 in zone 1 and 0 in zone 2. So 2 and 8 in zone 1. Here 2 and 8 zone 2. Okay, zone 2. So 8 in zone 1, 8 in zone 1 and 1 in zone 2, 1 in zone 2, 7 in 1 and 2 in zone 2, etc. Each combination will have associated with its certain returns. Okay, see, so 0 0 or 1 0, 2 0, 3 0, similarly 4 0 or 4 1, 4 2, 4 3, in this way. So 9 is associated only 0. But 8 you can associate with 0 or 2, 0 or 1. Here 7 you can assign to, so Z1, zone 1, 7 is zone 2, 0, 1, 3. Okay, in this way. So here X0 you can assign to zone 2, 0 to 9. So many combinations you will get. So each combination will have associated with it certain returns. The returns for all numbers of station salesmen that is 98720 are shown in table. So for particular number of salesmen, the profits for all possible combinations can be read along the diagonal. So maximum profits are marked here. You can see the maximum profit is marked. So if you consider the fifth salesman, okay, here it is fifth, this third, here it is 154, so now consider the distribution. Now move to next stage. Here it is maximum profit. You can see the 3, 163, 163. So here is the maximum profit. Then 154, then 143. So for each and every salesman, so the maximum profits are allotted. The highest profit is this 163. For 0 and 0. Okay. Now consider the distribution of 9 salesmen in zone 1, 2 and 3. You consider zone 1, 2 and 3 simultaneously. It is a third stage. The decision at this stage will result in allocating certain number of salesmen to zone 3 and the remaining zone 2 and 1 combined. Then by following the backward process, they will be distributed to zone 2 and 1. So for total 9 salesmen to the allocated to 3 zones, the returns is shown in this table. Okay, now you can see number of salesmen. So zone 1 and 2, here it is 65. So this 65 is taken. Then 80. So this 80 is chosen. Then 95. See here 0, 0. Zone 1 0, zone 2 0. Zone 1 0, zone 2 1. Zone 1 0, zone 2 second. Then zone 1 0 and zone 2 3, or zone 1 1 and 2. Then 1 1 5, zone 1 1 and zone 1 3. Zone 1 0 and zone 1 5. Zone 1 1 and zone 5. In this way you choose 9 values, sum of zone 1 and zone 2 values, 9 values here. And number of salesmen participated here from 9 to 0. So it is 0 to 9 and 9 to 0. Now you sum of this 65 plus 1110, you will get 175. 80 plus 1110, you will get 190. 95 plus 1110 or 110, you will get 205. 105 plus 102, you will get 207. In this way you will get these values. Out of this, the biggest value is 210. Biggest value, maximum profit is 210,000. So maximum profit for salesman, for 9 salesmen is 2,000 to 210,000, that is 2,10,000 if 5 salesmen are allotted to zone 3. If 5 salesmen are allotted to zone 3. And from remaining 4, out of this 4, 3 from zone 2 and 1 from zone 1. Okay, so total how many salesmen are required? 5 plus 3 plus 1. So this 9 salesmen are required. out of 9, the 5 from zone 3, 3 from zone 2 and 1 from zone 1. So it will give you more profit. Okay, so this is a solution, optimal solution. So here allocate the salesman to 3 different zones. So the solution is to allocate the salesmen, 5 salesmen to zone 3, 3 salesmen to zone 2 and 1 salesman to zone 1. So this is what the solution is. So this is the employment smoothing problem. So similarly, it is used for capital budgeting problem, to allocate the different capitals during budgeting. Okay, so there are different examples. We'll see 1 or 2 more examples in next session. But till date, if you have any doubt about this today's lecture, then you can ask me any questions, doubts. You put your comments in comment box. Also you can ask questions in doubt clarification session. Okay, so we'll stop now. We'll continue the same topic with more examples in next lecture. Thank you very much.